old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. What is this verse telling us here in the Bible? The devil was once the most beautiful angel in heaven, but he rebelled against God because of pride. And he also caused human beings to rebel against God. That was Adam and Eve. He first caused Adam and Eve to rebel against God, and then he took his rebellion to heaven and caused other angels to rebel against God. But if you notice, the devil and his angels and Adam and Eve, they have not yet received their punishment from God. We have not yet received our punishment from God. The reason for this is because Jesus needed to come to earth to die for the sins of man so that man could escape the punishment of everlasting hellfire. So friends, let us take a closer look into the devil and into why he caused other angels to sin. Why did he rebel against God? Let's take a look at that. I'm reading from Isaiah chapters 14 verses 12 to 14, and it says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, and I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the side of the north, and I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High." This verse here is describing what was in the heart of the devil, but it is also describing what is in most of our hearts as human beings. Many of us as Christians, we want God. When we pray, we are praying for things that God does not want us to have. But the reason why God does not want us to have it is because it would not be good for us. And just like the devil wanted to be like the Most High. He wanted to sin without accountability. Many of us, we want to sin without accountability. So this is the reason why we refuse to serve God. We refuse to serve God because we do not want to account for what we have done. But we have to be careful, because let me tell you, the day is coming, the day of judgment is coming for all of us who sin without any regard for God's commandments. So we have to bear in mind that these sins will eventually, in the end, destroy us and send us to the lake of fire. If you are praying for something, make sure that it is to glorify God. If it is not to glorify God, do not pray for it. Ask God to show you what to pray for. And when you pray, God will be willing to give it to you because it is something that glorifies Him. Many of us, we are praying for jobs. We're praying, we're praying for wealth that God does not want us to have. And because God does not want us to have it, we go and try to take it by deceitful means, by lying or stealing, or sometimes even murder, sometimes even by witchcraft. But if God doesn't want us to have that thing that we are praying for, more than likely it is not good for us. In this case, the devil and his angels, what they wanted, they could not have as angels, and that was to be like God. And so because they could not have it, they sinned against God and brought mankind down with them. My friends, we have to be careful not to be like Lucifer, with a proud heart, a heart that thinks that they know more than God. This is what most atheists think. If you speak to a lot of these atheists, a lot of them will tell you the reason why they don't believe in God is because they prayed for something that they did not receive. or they will say, oh, God is a wicked God because look at what is happening in the world. So much suffering. Why doesn't God end all the suffering? And because God does not end the suffering, and because God does not do what they does not do what they want God to do, they say that there is no God. But this is the wrong approach, my friends. We have to remember that man is sinful. We chose to suffer. God gave us a choice, and we chose suffering over Him. And the reason why a lot of people say that there is no God is because they themselves do not know the Bible. We have to be careful, my friends, when we sin and when we sin. Because let me tell you, there's coming a day, the day of judgment, when all of us, just like the devil and his angel, will have to answer for our sin. This is the reason why Jesus died for us on a Roman cross, so that we can escape the punishment that is for the devil and his angels. My friends, thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe to my channel.